Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, out on another walk. It is pouring with rain, ladies and gentlemen, and I have taken refuge in a triangular building. I feel like I'm in the Louvre, but this isn't in Paris, this is in the Midlands. So I'm coming out of there with what you can see behind me, hopefully, is a 26 arched viaduct. Viaduct? Yes. Just double check because it's not an aqueduct. Anyway, the reason I come in here, you may have seen me do a video with a wonderful chap called Lee Proudfoot, and we were looking at the iron bridge in Coalbrookdale.
In Ironbridge.
In Ironbridge.
now, traditionally in Coalbrookdale. Hello,
Lee,
Richard.
nice to meet you again.
Hello.
We were going to do a lovely walk around Abraham Darby's property and
into various dingles and dells and all sorts of other places, but best laid plans.
The weather has made us do something different, but actually this is quite interesting in itself, because we are not only are we protected in a modern.
We've taken refuge from the rain.
We are in the old furnace, the birthplace of industry.
Supposedly, I mean there are people that will debate that, but I think we can justifiably lay claim to that alongside other places too, to be fair.
So what, 60 odd years ago we would be standing in rubble?
We would. In the 1950s this structure and this building didn't exist. The structure within it, which it protects, was underneath layers and layers of industrial rubble, amidst what was a warehouse site, a factory, the remnants of some of the old furnaces and foundry works from the 1700s. And as the furnaces were finished with, they knocked them down and built a new one on top of it.
Let's take a little stroll around this.
This was covered over.
What we're standing in here is now a museum, and this is Abraham Darby's first furnace, is that correct?
The first one he used. He didn't build it. It was built by a chap, well, the first furnaces here, the first iron manufacturing in Coalbrookdale started as early as the 1500s. Basil Brook was a local landowner up in Madeley, and we believe he built this one. When Abraham Darby I, who is the grandfather of the chap that built the iron bridge, so Abraham Darby III is the bridge, Abraham Darby I is the inventor and the first one to come here. Came from Bristol, Quaker family. He came here with the intention of branching out into making brass domestic ware, so cooking pots and other kind of implements.
Pretty far away from iron.
Yes, but he came here and then realised what he had on his doorstep. And what he had on his doorstep was the ingredients to make a fortune from cast iron. So he's got coal, he's got limestone, he's got ironstone, he's got clay, he's got water, he's got timber for manufacturing buildings and all sorts of other things, and he's also got the river with which he can transport the goods down to his Quaker friends in Bristol. They can transship things.
So the perfect storm really for all the things that you would need.
Yes, but we're also astute enough to realise that these things were there. And cast iron, it's not new, no, it wasn't a brand new invention, but it was his implementation of lots of new ideas and finding new ways to make cast iron and use cast iron and apply it to different scenarios is where he made his fortune. So you can see on here, there's a date on
1638 it says there.
And BEEB, there are various theories. Some people think it's to do with the Brook family, hence the B. It could also be related to the Benthall family, who owned Benthall Hall, which is on the other side of the River Severn on the south bank.
Oh, okay.
No one really knows, but it could be Basil Brook, it could be Elizabeth Benthall, it could be any sort of combination of those. We know that the numbering is wrong as well. It shouldn't be 1638. I forget the date it should be, but during a previous restoration they put the wrong number on.
Oh, so different century?
No, just the end number.
Oh, so I see, not 1638, but 16 something.
Hasn't been here yet. He's not even born at this point. So he doesn't come here till 1709. So the Derby story doesn't begin till the 18th century.
Right, it's quite complicated, isn't it?
It is.
Let's move around. One thing that I wanted to mention is, as people know, I'm based in Sussex, and you have down on the Sussex Weald the sort of where the Romans were beginning the iron industry,
Yeah.
and then it's very much taken up in the Tudor period with
That's right.
producing cannons and things from iron that's very much on the surface. Coal. Yes, iron, stone, and stuff that's from the surface, and they're using wood to make the charcoal in order to smelt.
That's right. To heat the furnaces.
To heat the furnaces.
Yeah.
But here, of course, the coal is a much better way of heating up.
It is. I mean, when Abraham Darby the first came here, he had every intention of using charcoal because that was the way that everyone else was
yes.
doing it. But he was a bit of an inventor and decided to try a different way. He'd been working in Birmingham at various points, and he learnt from some of the sort of the silversmithing trades and some of the other metal trades in Birmingham that they were using coke.
Right.
Not as in Diet Coke, but superheated coal.
Full fat coke, actually.
Yeah, vanilla. Using superheated coal that
Yes.
had preheated and then used as the fuel for the furnaces there. And that
Yes.
enabled the silversmithing and the metal trades to get very high temperatures, and you get a better quality of production, so
Yes.
you could get better materials. So he developed the idea for a larger scale for cast iron, tried it here, and it produced a much more efficient way of making cast iron. You've got better
Yes.
quality, you get better productivity as well.
And you're not chopping down so many
and
trees.
You're not chopping down the trees, no. And charcoal's difficult to make.
Yes.
You know, it's a slow process.
Yes.
It requires particular skills.
As long as you can put, and of course there was this coal field, and,
And a
the
coalfield,
seam was
the
all
East
here.
Shropshire coalfield is literally at the top of the hill. Where Telford now is essentially on top of the East Shropshire coalfield. Good quality coal. It was always regarded as very good quality.
Oh right.
And when you get coal, you tend to get ironstone.
Ah.
So Bliss Hill Museum is built on what was originally an iron mine, and then they hit a coal seam, and then they hit an iron seam. So you get kind of a synchronicity of materials.
Wow.
So you're able to exploit it without having to dig another mine shaft.
Yes.
So it meant that you could not have to transport the raw materials very far to your furnaces.
So very, very lucky then to have it. I mean,
Yeah.
just standing in here, I mean, it's lovely to get that feel of the old furnace. I mean, not that I actually really know so much what I'm looking at, but there's a nice archway to walk in. So, but places like this, you've got all the display boards, or the, well, it's dark, isn't it?
It is.
Actually, if I stand this way around, there's a chance that the audience might see us. Bit of lighting. Any idea what we're standing in?
To be honest, no.
No.
This isn't my specialism.
No, but it's you know,
If
old
I'd known you were coming in here today, I'd have read up on it. But,
absolutely. But it's it's an old furnace.
It's an arch.
It's
but,
an arch.
These are the actual points where the iron was made. These
Right.
furnace
So is
entrances here.
I mean, it looks like an old lime kiln, the way that lime kilns
So what would happen
operate.
is all the materials are put in at the top. We
Yes.
can go up there and then fed down through and heated up, and then I'm not sure of the terminology.
No.
But essentially, it's tapped, and the molten iron
Comes
will
out of
run
the
out
bottom.
into a pattern that you've cut into the floor. So what they were making was not just finished goods. They were also making things called pig iron, and pig iron. So you have a
Oh yes, pig iron.
line
That's right.
coming out with essentially what looked like piglets coming off a sow.
Yes,
And that would be sold as an intermediate raw material.
and you could take that away and then smelt it again, or melt it
And
down.
they made a lot of money from selling pig iron as much as the finished goods, because the quality of the pig iron was regarded so highly here.
Right.
Pig iron was also used as ballast.
Oh,
So
right.
the SS Great Britain, we know that the Great Britain's hull was filled with pig iron
Gosh.
as a means of ballast for when they were going out, and of course you can sell it.
Yeah.
So if you need to empty it,
Oh,
you can then
perfect-
sell it on.
perfect
and
solution.
It's easier to manhandle than a load of sand or gravel or whatever else you might use as ballast.
let's go up and have a look around the back.
We can go through the
Yeah,
other tunnel.
Absolutely.
See underneath.
Right, we've made our way up to.
It's called the charging ramp.
Oh, of course it is.
That's
The
what the
charging
sign
ramp.
says.
Yes, I knew
I knew
that.
that.
I knew that. Here we go.
Is the back for the blast furnace.
And there's a great big hole here. But not being somebody really in that line of work, all of this seems just beyond my comprehension. You know, you look at these things with modern eyes, and it's just incredible what they came up with. It's so long ago, or what seeming is so long ago. When looking out of the window here,
that's the Museum of Iron, which is
right.
One of the older offices and warehouses of the Coalbrookdale Company. The Coalbrookdale Company was Derby's company. They still exist through various states of ownership as Arga. So Arga stoves are what they ended up making in Coalbrookdale. Not Essie, no. No, the originals.
What I was going to go on to say is when we look outside, it's all very plush, and you've got this wonderful sward of grass. But of course, there were sheds and buildings and all sorts of stuff. And you had smoke and people
and machines and horses and everything.
Dung and everything. Very, very busy environment. And
swearing.
And probably a lot of swearing. And people were running around with burnt injuries, I would imagine. A bit of human flesh on fire. So definitely worth coming to have a look. Mug up on it a bit more than I have. But Lee, run out of time, which is always the way. But it's very nice to come in and see Abraham Darby's first furnace, where everything really sort of started from. And it's all protected, so do come and see it. Anyway, the sun is clearing. We might be able to get another walk in. So for the moment, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, all the usual stuff. Leave a comment if you've been here. That would be great. Till the next time, thank you, Lee.
Bye-bye.
Bye for now. And I shall drop you down into the furnace.